Hello, this is Victor Cuevas with Victor for Advice, and today I'm going to be showing what's going on in the market here in May of 2022 and why you should not have not one dime of your retirement money ever in the market. And then I'm going to show you the best place to save for retirement. So stick with me. It's going to be great. You'll learn a lot. All right, let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe change this a little bit here. Okay. Now I've got my financial planning online magazine coming up, and we see popular retirement funds are getting hammered as tech stocks plunge. I want to come right down here to this the epic big bull run in big stocks as that began in March 2020, that many funds have become ever more concentrated in a handful of companies. Now, look, most of you save in 401ks. Not a good place, but we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. T. Rowe Price, you see right here, T. Rowe Price, blue chip growth fund. Blue chips are the big dogs, the big funds, the big companies, the big, dependable, strong companies that lead the way. And this is where a lot of your 401ks have their money invested. Here we go, another one is the Fidelity Contra Fund. Been around for ages. Just about every mutual fund, just about every 401k out there offers the Fidelity Contra Fund. So the T. Rowe price is down 25% for the year. That's of about the 3rd of March, of May. Right now, it's the 9th. It's down a little bit more now. Fidelity Contra Fund down 20%. Now, T. Rowe Price, these guys are supposed to be smart. They're supposed to know what they're doing. They've got 46% of the entire fund, billions and billions of dollars. 46 is only in five stocks. So if you're looking at getting in mutual funds for quote unquote diversification, that's not happening right now. And then 20%, I mean, look, let's drop down to this. The S&P 500 index fund of leading companies has lost more than 13% so far. So what does that mean? Well, the S&P 500 stock index is just a plain old index. No one's managing it. No one's minding the store. Just throw your money in there. It's going to do whatever it's going to do. It's only down 13%. And you can have that for what, a quarter of a percent for fees? But these guys, the ones that are supposed to know everything, they're down 22 to 25%. How would you like to have $1 million in your 401k and all of a sudden, just like that, you're down to 250, or $750,000? Not good. Now, folks, I used to be in that industry for a long time. I had auto licenses. I was a licensed fiduciary. I charged a fee. I turned my back on an industry. Look, folks, I've been in financial services since 1994. I've seen all kinds of things. You do not have to have a dime of your money ever in the stock market in the 401k. Your savings, your nest egg, which you want to be there in the future when you retire. Look at this. Some more sad statistics. Here's another article where, let me see here, this is investing, and we've got here the average 401k balance of ages 65 and older, 255,000. The median is 82. Save all your life. Put your money in a 401k. Get to 65. You got 255,000. If you believe this article, I can go over here to Investopedia, and they're telling us that 60 somethings, people in their 60s to 69, have an average of 182,000. And it says here, how much should someone in their 60s have in their 401k? Tells you that abysmal figure of 182,000 in your 60s. And then it says, Fidelity estimates that the average person should expect to spend 55 to 80% of their annual income during their retirement. Okay, so let's suppose you're a hardworking guy or a girl and you're doing a little bit better than average. The average family income in America is around $50,000 a year. Not very much. Let's suppose you retire. You're making $80,000 when you retire. Well, if someone says I make 80,000, most people think that's pretty respectable income. I mean, you can live halfway decent. Not great, but halfway decent with $80,000 a year, right? So now you want to retire, and Fidelity's estimating you need 55 to 80% of your current income to retire halfway decently. Well, what does that really look like? Well, let's go back to um, this generous statistics at 255,000. Let's suppose you did have 255,000 in your 401k. Now, there isn't a financial advisor out there worth his salt that will tell you that you should take any more than 4% out of your 401k or IRA in retirement. Otherwise, you will probably run out of money, right? Because of what I just showed you, the market is down 25%. Market goes up, it goes down. When the market is going down and you're pulling money out for retirement, you're drawing that income down. You're drawing that account down even further, and then there's fees coming out. You run out of money if you draw more than 4%. A lot of them are saying 3 to 3.5%. But if you have 255,000 and you take 4% out, that's $10,200. Wow. You work all your life, bust your butt. You get to an income level of $80,000 a year. You've got $255,000 in your 401k, and you're going, all right, time to retire. And your retirement income is $10,200 a year. That's less than what your Social Security will pay you. That's, what is it? $900, $800 a month? What kind of retirement will you enjoy drawing $10,200 a year out plus Social Security, which may be $22,000, $23,000 a year? Not very good, folks. Even if your spouse is duplicating that, you're still not up to $80,000. So is the 401k the best place? Well, Victor, I got more than that. I mean, I'm going to retire with $600,000 in my 401k. All right, which you would be a huge exception to the rule, as you can see by the statistics. So you get to retire with $24,000 a year, and remember that's before taxes. Well, you take out 20%. State and federal, you're down to 19,200 divided by 12, and congratulations, you worked hard, you saved great, you got $600,000, and your monthly income take home is $1,600 a year. Again, maybe as much as or a little bit more than your Social Security is paying. Okay. So folks, you have got to realize that there's a better way. There's a better way. And I'm going to show you right now. Stick with me. It's going to be good. All right, here we go. I'm going to give you a little slide presentation, and I'm trying to keep this video at a decent length because it's so important. It's so important that you need to listen to this, please, folks. You got to listen to this. There's the foundations, the perfect asset class for savings and retirement. We're going to go over the contribution phase, the growth phase, the distribution phase, and the taxation phase. Those are the four phases of preparing for retirement and retiring. Listen to this because you won't get this education in most places, not even from your financial advisor you're paying to listen to. He's not going to sit down, take the time to show you this. Here we go. What would the perfect savings program look like? Now let's think about this, folks, because this gets kind of exciting right here. If I was going to choose the perfect retirement plan, what would it look like? Well, how about if everything you earned was tax free? Well, I get that from my 401k. I don't have to pay taxes on my 401k. Good. That's the beginning. We want to earn whatever we're going to earn, and we don't want to have to pay taxes on it while we're earning it, right? But how about when you retire, it comes out to you tax free. All that income is tax free. You don't get that from a 401k, IRA, or any of those qualified plans. How about unlimited returns? Well, I can get that in the stock market. Well, yes, but isn't that a good thing to have where you can have great returns? So we want to put that in the mix. How about no risk of market loss? How about if you had a savings plan for retirement that you never, ever, ever lost not even one dime because of anything that happens out there in the market? Your account value can just go up. It can never go down. Right now, the market is down 25% in these funds, 13% in the S&P. The Dow Jones is about there. And who knows how much further it's going to go. Dow Jones had a major sell-off of 1,000 points just the other day. You never have to experience that. Not ever. How about that? What do you think your retirement account could look like if you never had a loss and you never had to sometimes take 4 years to crawl out of it? Okay, that'd be great. And while we're talking about no market loss, how about if your account was protected from creditors and predators? People wanted to sue you or take your money because of creditors or anything like that. Look, folks, the perfect savings retirement plan is one where nobody knows you have any money in it. What are you talking about? I'm talking about a savings plan for retirement where you could have $1 million in it, and if someone did an asset search on you, they would never see it. They wouldn't find it. Would that be part of a really nice savings plan for retirement? Your nest egg is protected. Pretty nice. How about no contribution limits? Your 401ks, IRAs, they have contribution limits. You can only put in but so much. How about if you could put in any amount of money you wanted to? How about it's liquid? You can access your money anytime you want on your terms. Well, you can't do that with a 401k or an IRA. You have to wait till you're 59 and a half. If you need it while you're until then, there's all kinds of hoops you have to jump through. But what if you could just access your money anytime you wanted to on your terms? Would that be nice to have for savings plan? And how about tax-free legacy to your heirs? What do you mean, Victor? Well, if you have 401k, let's suppose you did very well and you had $1 million in your 401k, and then you died later on after spending and spending and spending, and there's $250,000 left in that 401k, and now it goes to your kids or your grandkids. They've got to pay taxes on all that money. Depending on what they made that year, they could get hit for 40 to 50%, state and federal. How about if you left them hundreds of thousands of dollars and they didn't have to pay 1 penny of tax on it? Would that be a nice thing to have in your retirement savings plan? So there's 6 things that would be awesome to have in a retirement plan, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. Let's talk about retirement risk, since this is a very important part of saving for retirement. Number one, you have the federal debt. As of May 1st, 2022, the federal debt was $30.4 trillion. That's crazy, folks. Especially, listen to me, especially in light of the fact that our country only brings in revenue of $4.1 trillion. And we spend right now, every year, about 6.3. We bring in 4.1, we spend 6.3 trillion. And the debt keeps jumping up like crazy every year. What does that mean for our futures? Well, let's go over some of those things that it could mean. Well, you have increasing future taxes on your income. Now, right now, we're at historically low. Do you realize that there were times in our history that the highest tax bracket was 90%? And that went on for several years. And then for several more years, it was at 70%. Imagine that, folks. Now the top tax bracket is around 39%. So if we keep racking up this debt, what are our taxes going to be in the future? I have no idea. But do you want to risk your future retirement income to who knows what? To this irresponsible government that we have that spends money like a drunken sailor and keeps racking up debt? No, you definitely want your money to be tax-free in retirement. How about volatility? Stock market losses. That's a retirement risk. You see what the market is doing right now. How about if you are in retirement right now, drawing money out of your retirement account and watching it go down 25%? Well, Victor, I mean, in retirement, I'm not going to be as risky with my retirement as I am now. Really? So what are you going to do? Manage your retirement account so that you get 4 or 5% before fees, and you lose a couple of percentage points of fees. Now you're at 3.5, maybe 4, and you're drawing out 4, and the market goes down, and you're still drawing out, and the fees are coming out. You'll run out of money. You have to, in retirement, you have to have an account that's still at risk, producing 7, 8, 9%, whatever you can get out of it. Because after fees and all, you want to have more than 4%. You're still going to have those years where you're going to be down 20, 30%. Now, it's crazy. Folks, it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm just going to tell all of you out there, it's crazy to go into retirement with money in the market. It just doesn't make sense. How about running out of market? The number one fear of people in retirement is my money going to last. And there's a lot of people that before they run out of money, they'll drop their income so low that they're darn near in poverty. But at least they have some money. That's a big risk. And how about government overreach? Folks, we have no idea what the government is going to do to retirement plans in the future. We don't know what's going to happen to Social Security. It might go broke in the next 10 years. To keep it alive, they keep talking about jacking up our taxes. I don't want to scare anybody here, but certain political groups in the government have floated the idea, since 401ks were so devastating in 2008 when they dropped 40%, and the government was saying, oh, you know how the government is, don't ever let a disaster go to waste. And they were floating the ideas, well, maybe these 401ks are risky. The average person really doesn't know very much about the stock market or managing. No one's managing, helping to manage it, this, that, and the other. Maybe, what if we just took that money in everybody's 401k and we kept it for them in a pension type program, and then they could get an income in the future and they wouldn't have to worry about the stock market devastating them. That's code word for we take your money, we rescue Social Security, and we give you a little bit extra in your Social Security check. Boy, if the government ever got a hold of your 401ks, you could kiss them goodbye. But they think about those things. And we don't know what kind of government overreach might happen in the future that could devastate your retirements. Okay, taxation 101 retirement. Again, we got to go through some basics so you'll understand. I am so much in educating people. If you have the right knowledge, the right solutions they make sense to you when they're presented. So here's the four phases of taxation. Well, you have the contribution stage. This is when money's coming out of your paycheck, going into that 401k at work, right? That's the seed money. You want to talk in farming terms. You put seed in the ground that grows into a harvest, right? So your seed money is that contribution going in every year. Okay, so now you have, and that seed money isn't taxed. So if you put $300 a month into 401k, you don't pay taxes on that 300. You save a little bit on taxes. Then you have the growth phase. That's the accumulation phase. It's accumulating, it's growing and growing. You hope it grows, but right now it's down 25%. But you hope it recovers, hope, in a reasonable period of time, and it doesn't go back again for a long time. But you know how that works. But anyway, you have that accumulation phase, and you don't pay any taxes on the money while it's accumulating. Right? Now you have the distribution phase. This is when you retire and you start taking money out. That's when Uncle Sam's going to come in and go, all right, it's time to pay the tax man. And then you have transfer. This is your legacy. You leave it to your family, they get taxed on that money. So I want to give you an analogy. Let's look at a farmer. Okay. So the government comes to the farmer and he says, okay, Mr. Farmer, we're going to give you a choice. When you go buy your seed to plant your crops, you have the opportunity to pay taxes to us when you buy the seed. Or at the end of growing season, when you sell all that harvest that you have and where you make your real profits, you can pay us taxes when you harvest your crops. And the farmer says, time out, government, I can't believe you would even give me this opportunity, but you're saying the little bit of money that I pay for my seed, I can pay taxes on that, but that much, 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 much larger amount of money that I'm going to get in profits from planting that seed, I don't have to pay taxes on that? That's correct. I'll pay the taxes on the seed. Now, you get the concept. Everybody says, put money in a 401k. You don't have to pay taxes on the money you put in. Who cares about that? Who cares about the tax savings? CPAs go to business owners. Hey, I'm going to help you save on taxes. Let's open up a simplified employee pension plan or a 401k for your business or whatever. And you get to save more taxes. And the business owner not thinking, because no one really thinks about these things, because you don't have someone like me telling you about them. So they go, okay, fine. I take tax savings every time I want. But they're putting money, they're getting tax, they're foregoing tax on the seed, and they're getting hammered in retirement on the harvest. Makes no sense at all. If you have a choice to pay the taxes now and not pay them later on much, much, much more money and pay for the rest of your life and pay taxes to your heirs and your heirs having to pay taxes, why would you love to have this tax on the seed, this tax savings on the seed, not pay the tax on the seed and get hammered on everything else? Folks, do you see how that makes absolutely no sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. Pay the tax on your seed money and then go tax-free for the rest of your life. Hope this is making sense to y'all. Okay, let's look very quickly at the different retirement plans people have, or different ways they save for retirement. So you got stocks and real estate. A lot of people just buy stocks and sell them, and they have a brokerage account, and you get taxed. When you do that, but real estate's the same way. I'm going to fix and flip a house. I'm going to buy rental property. Anytime you make income, you're going to pay tax. So you have unlimited upside gains because Lord knows there's a ton of wealth made in real estate. So your upside is huge. But do you have some risk involved? We sure do. There's tons of risk in the stock market, and there's a lot of risk in real estate too. If you don't do it right, or the real estate market goes down, things can happen. You get taxed on the contribution and the distribution. You get tax going in and coming out. Okay, and you have some limited liquidity. I mean, if your stocks are down, do you really want to sell at that point? Take a loss. Real estate, you've got to sell the real estate, and that's not always quick and easy. And it's expensive because you're paying commissions on the sale of property. So liquidity is not all that great. And of course, anytime you leave stocks and real estate to your heirs outside of a retirement or even in a retirement account, you're going to get taxable to your heirs. So there's a lot of money to be made saving that way, but there's a whole lot of tax consequences and a whole lot of risk involved. Then you got stocks and mutual funds in an IRA or 401k or any kind of retirement plan, 403b, simplified employee pension plan, all those guys, 457s, all those government regulated retirement plans. Well, you do have your unlimited gains, great. You have tax-free contribution. That means the seed money, you get a tax break. Now, to me, that's not an advantage. That's a disadvantage long term. But in the as far as the world sees it, oh, it's great. I don't have to pay taxes on the money I put into my retirement. So we show it as a green. But do you have market loss? Yes. Are you going to get taxed on the harvest, the distribution? Yeah, you're going to get hit hard. And who knows what taxes, we've been over that already, what taxes are going to be in the future. We have limited liquidity options. I mean, you can't even hit your money without a penalty until you're 59 and a half. And there's some ways that you can get it to it, but a lot of hoops to jump through. And of course, it's taxable to your heirs. Not the best thing. So now we're here. Let me see if I can move this around so you can see stocks and mutual funds in Roth IRAs. So, Roth IRA is you put money in after tax, which is good, but you take it out tax free. Well, you pay taxes on it, on the money you put in, which I think is good. A lot of people don't, but it's all tax free, which is great. So you have unlimited gains because it's a stock market for the most part. There are some self-directed IRAs you can put in other things, including real estate, but most of the time they're in stocks and mutual funds. You have tax-free distribution, the harvest, no taxes on the money coming out, and no taxes to the heirs. That's good. It has some extra liquidity features, but still you get nailed if you take the money out before 59 and a half. After 5 years, you can't take the contributions out because it's after tax money. You can't take the profits out till you're 59 and a half without penalty. You got taxes on the tax on the contribution. Again, I like that. Tax me now on the money I put in. I don't care about that. But as we said before, that counts as a red. And it has risk for market loss. And you are limited even more so than you are in 401ks. You're limited to $6,000 to $7,000 of what you can put in a year. The government says, okay, we'll let you have an account that you don't pay taxes on in the future, but you're not going to be able to put that much in. So that's that. All right, now, okay, here it is, my favorite option for saving for retirement. Need to change this back. Bar none, folks. I mean, bar none. If you've looked at everything I've shown you and you've really thought about it using your common sense, this is by far the absolute best way to save for retirement. There's another way right behind it, but this is the best way for most people. Now, if you have an old 401k or old IRA, you still can use this. There's some strategy there involved, or we can move it into the one right up under this that's almost as good as this. So here we go. Life insurance retirement plan, the LIRP. We call it the LIRP, and it's high cash value life insurance. Yes, high cash value life insurance, been around since the 1700s in America. Tried and true and proven. So when you put your money in a cash value life insurance, again, folks, listen to me. You have to deal with a professional that knows what he or she is doing when it comes to this. Same thing with putting money in retirement. I mean, you should work with a good advisor, but if he's asking you to put your money in the market, he's still going to lose. You're still going to lose from time to time. There's no getting around it. I used to be there. But you need to work with somebody like me that's an expert in designing these plans so that they maximize cash accumulation, maximize your retirement income, and minimize the cost within the policy. So here we go. We have tax-free accumulation. So you put money in there, and all the money it earns, you don't pay a lick of tax on. Okay? Tax-free distribution, the harvest money. When you get ready to retire, that life insurance retirement plan will pay you a tax-free income for the rest of your life, year in and year out, all tax-free. And you don't have to worry about dips in the stock market because it doesn't affect your retirement income. You still have unlimited upside gains, yes. You can make just as good and better than in the stock market with many of our LIRPs. No risk of market loss. Your money is never, ever at risk of loss for anything that happens in the market. Your money will never go down in value because of what happens in the market. You get interest paid to your account, to your cash value based on what the market does, but it can only go up in value. It can never go down. Or you can be in a whole life-based one, which you just get paid interest and dividends every year without fault, year in and year out, always get growth. So there's no way you can lose money in a policy. Now, it's creditor and predator proof because it's I say camouflaged. All legal by IRS code. Someone does this asset search on you, you could have you could have $20 million on a life insurance policy. They won't even know you have it there. Save money. It's liquid. You can access your money in your life insurance policy anytime you want on your terms. Pretty good. Unlimited and flexible contributions. Well, Victor, I only want to put $500 a month in it. Fine. Oh, Victor, I want to put $1 million a year in it. Fine, no problem. Whatever you want. Tax-free legacy to your heirs. When you die, you'll leave a ton of money to your heirs. Tax-free, probate-free, cash in their hand. It's their money. Now, if you're going to work all your life, folks, and you're going to save and save and save so you can have a good retirement, and then when you die, don't you want to leave that money to your heirs all tax-free without the government getting involved? Only negative, it's tax on contribution. So the money you put in is after-tax money. It's not like it's going in a 401k and you get a tax break. No, you don't. But do we care? Now that you've learned what you have learned in this video, Do you care if you get taxed on your contributions? Well, Victor, I'm going to put $50,000 a year. I could get a $10 or $15,000 tax break if I put it in this other way. You won't be able to put $50,000 in a typical 401k. But let's suppose you could. You could. What do you think $50,000 a year with halfway decent growth over the next 20 years would look like? And then you got to pay taxes on all of that instead of the measly 10 or 15,000 you save while you're putting the money in. You you don't even want to look at that because you will pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, depending on how much you end up in that account, into taxes over your lifetime and your heirs. So no, we like being taxed on the seed, folks. We like being taxed on the seed. We don't have to pay tax on the harvest. It's a good thing. So this is it, folks. This is the best way you can save for retirement. If for an individual, especially for business people and self-employed, is spectacular way. There's all kinds of nuances that can work well for you if you're a business person. So again, the life insurance retirement plan, the LIRP, high cash value life insurance, tax-free accumulation, tax-free distribution, unlimited upside gains. You have no risk of market loss. You're protected from creditors and predators. Your money is liquid. You can get to it anytime you need. You have unlimited and flexible contributions. It's tax-free to your heirs, and it's taxed on and you only get taxed on the contribution. That's it. Just taxed on the seed, and the rest is beautiful. It can be magical. And one last thing, and I can't get into the details, you can watch other videos on my YouTube channel on how you actually take income, but because of the way you're able to draw income out of a LIRP, you can get many, many times more income. As a quick example, if you had 500,000 in a 401k and you drew out 4%, which is the most you should ever draw out in any given year, that's $20,000 a year. But out of that same $500,000, you can draw 8 to 9% a year with a LIRP. Well, let's just put 8.5% a year. 0.5, that's 42,000. And remember, you don't pay tax on it, 42,000. 42,500. You see the massive difference? The massive difference between saving your money in the 401k and retiring with, you have a 500,000 and you retire with this 4%, and you got to pay tax on it. But with a LIRP, you could retire with, if you had 500,000 in cash value, you could retire at 42,500, tax free. Throw your Social Security on top of that, and you're looking at a $60,000 a year retirement income. Well, remember we were talking about in the article I showed you, making 55 to 80%. If you're making $80,000 a year, and if you retire $60,000 a year, you're in that ballpark, aren't you? You're getting close to what you were doing, but you're doing better because you're not paying tax on the bulk of your income, just on the Social Security portion of it, and not that much. Imagine having $1 million in a LIRP, life insurance retirement plan, drawing out $80,000, $90,000 a year tax-free, whereas if you were in a 401k, you can only draw out $40,000 a year before taxes. So you end up with $30,000 a year. 30,000, 85 to 90,000. Take your pick, folks. Now, if you want to learn more and you want to see the figures, how they can apply specifically to you over however long a period of time you want to look at, I can certainly do that for you. But folks, let me tell you, I know it's a long video, but you've learned a lot. And if you will call me and let me run the numbers for you, you will see that the life insurance retirement plan is so much better on all levels than putting your money in the market. Now, if you have an old 401k or an old IRA, see me, we need to move that money out of the market and put it in a place where you'll never lose a dime and can only go up in value all the way until the time you retire. And then you can take a lifelong income guaranteed, pay you in, year out. Even if your account runs out of money, it will pay you. You can live to 120, you'll still get paid. You'll never take a pay cut. I like to call it personal pension plan. All right, this is Victor Cuevas, Victor for Advice. I hope you've learned a lot. Throw a like on this if you would please, and subscribe to my channel and learn more.